and I am the coordinator for English 1X for the 2017-18 academic year. I'm creating this video to orient you to the English 1X program and what to expect as a student in 1X. First of all, thank you for choosing English 1X. I think this is an excellent course to supplement your freshman or sophomore English studies. You all should be enrolled in English 10, 11, 5, or 20 if you're taking this course, since the focus of this course really is to support you in that 3-unit English class. So some of the goals that we have for your time in 1X, one is to help you increase your peer review skills. So giving and receiving feedback on your writing is one area that we will work on. We also want to help you build your writing knowledge so that you have a better base of knowledge to make good decisions about writing and revising your work. And the last thing that we help with is encouraging you to reflect on your writing processes and improving those processes for the future. So I wanted to let you know that this may be the one and only time you see me, the coordinator. Each of these English 1X courses is facilitated by an instructional student assistant who you will meet on the first day. The instructional student assistants are your guide and facilitator for the class. They are there to help you make decisions, help the class plan what sorts of activities and information they need to increase their writing knowledge and set up workshops. So if you have questions or problems or concerns that your ISA cannot answer, you can feel free to contact me or whomever the coordinator is for your particular academic year. But most of your interactions will be with the instructional student assistant. And so I encourage you to talk with them if you have questions. But as I said, I'm available and I am the instructor of record, so I will be the one ultimately that files grades for the course. So today I wanted to talk about the nature of the class and also go over the syllabus with you. English 1X has both a in-person class format and a hybrid format. I'm going to focus on looking at the syllabus for the in-person class, and then I'll talk about one difference in the syllabus that is included for the hybrid class. The syllabi and information for this orientation can be found out on your English 1X on Canvas. If you don't know how to access Canvas, from my SAC state, there in the middle column is Canvas, and if you go to the Canvas dashboard, you can find the class. If you click on modules, you'll see information here, this welcome video that you're watching now, syllabi, a quiz that I'll be asking you to take at the end of this video, and then the grading contract for 1X. If you happen to be in a hybrid course, you will also be working online instead of just during class, and so you will be doing some of these other modules that appear later. If you're in an in-person class, this will be the one online portion that you need to complete is the orientation. And then from there, most of your work will be done in the classroom. So neither the hybrid online or the in-person class have homework. Our goal really is to help you and support you in your primary English class, and so all of the work for this is done during the class time. So the in-person class meets 2 days a week for 50 minutes. And the hybrid class meets 1 day a week in the classroom for 50 minutes and 1 day online. That online is what's called asynchronous, meaning that everybody doesn't have to be in the online classroom at the same time. There'll be materials for you to complete before the next in-person class meeting, and so that's how that will work. But let me go back to talk a little bit about the syllabus and the purpose for the class. And so one thing that's important about the class is that we focus a lot on peer review. And so in order for you to get something out of the class, you have to be engaged and working with your peers, collaborating and reflecting on your writing, giving and receiving feedback. If you don't engage and participate, then you probably won't get a lot out of this class because it really relies on student participation and engagement in order for you to get out of it what you need. The instruction is a workshop format, so students will mainly be possibly doing an activity and then applying what they've learned in that activity to their writing or their review of someone else's writing. And so come prepared with writing from your English class. In terms of the learning outcomes for this class, the first one is to help students develop the skills needed to effectively recognize and respond to strengths and weaknesses in writing. And so this is really about developing those peer review skills to read thoroughly and give some advice about strengths that you see in a piece of writing or areas that could be improved. The second outcome is to give students the opportunity to learn how to give and accept critical feedback on writing. And so here again, this is about peer feedback. So learning how to accept and use that feedback, as well as learning how to give that feedback in ways that are accessible for the writer. The third one is to encourage an atmosphere of effective peer collaboration, and this is really about working with and supporting your peers. How do you work together to get to a better knowledge and create more information about your writing processes and how you can improve those. The fourth one down, to help students be more aware of their own writing processes, including pre-writing, drafting, revising, and editing. Most of these areas we will go over during the course of the class, and you will be thinking about your processes, learning tips and hints for ways that you might improve those processes. And then lastly, to foster critical self-reflection, self-editing, and self-assessment skills through writing. Ultimately, many students have a portfolio as the end assessment for their primary English class, and I think this idea of self-reflection and self-editing and assessing is important for that portfolio so that you have a complete and well-done portfolio in the end. And so we'll be taking you through a lot of self-reflection, thinking about your processes, thinking about your writing and ways that you can move forward with it. So in order to receive credit for English 1X, there's really only two things that you need to do. One is attend and participate, and we'll talk about the attendance policy in just a moment. The other is to bring in writing to share with the group every class. And so I highly recommend that you just take your folder for your English class with your materials in it and bring that to every English 1X class as well. That way you have something to work with. There may be days where your facilitator asks students to sign up so that certain students are bringing in drafts of an essay, and that's fine. Just make sure you're bringing it in as scheduled. Or there may be other days where somebody's not bringing in a draft, and so everybody should have something with them that they can work with, whether it's just a prompt or an outline or an actual finished assignment. In terms of attendance, we would like students to not have more than 2 weeks of absences. So this would be 4 total absences could result in you, or more than 4 absences will result in you earning no credit for the tutorial. So I wanted to talk about what exactly is an absence. I think obviously if you miss the entire tutorial meeting, that's an absence. But there are some other things that also can affect your status. If you fail to bring in writing, or maybe you were also scheduled to bring in writing and you failed to do that, that could result in an absence. If you are late or leave early more than 15 minutes, then that would be an absence. If you have a lot of tardies, those will add up. 4 tardies, less than 15 minutes, will result in 1 absence. And then if you're asked to leave the tutorial for some reason, maybe you're just not engaging and on task that day, or maybe you are disrupting others, then that would also be an absence. One difference between the in-person class and the hybrid class is this attendance policy, so I wanted to quickly go over that to talk about the one difference. So with the hybrid class, we've added this bullet here that says failure to complete a discussion post or module on time would result in an absence. And so you can, with up to 2 discussion posts, have them accepted late if you make arrangements with your facilitator once you realize that you forgot to do that particular post. But again, not participating in that online portion of the class is the same as being absent from the tutorial. So these can add up, and so you need to keep yourself within 4 absences. More than that will mean no credit for the tutorial. Some other reminders for you on the syllabus are academic honesty, so understanding what plagiarism is and how to avoid it. Since this is a writing class, you should be aware of that. And there's a definition and a link to the policy. We also will make accommodations for students with disabilities. Let your facilitator or me know what accommodations are needed, and we can work with that. In terms of other writing resources, one would be the University Reading and Writing Center located in Calaveras Hall. This is one-on-one tutoring, so it's a little bit different than English1X, but you may need maybe more help after you've gotten some feedback in 1X, and so that's also available. And then an online resource is Purdue's OWL, or Online Writing Lab, and I've got a link here for that. They have a lot of information on writing, on grammar, on MLA style, and so forth. And then if your particular class needs to make some decisions about things in the syllabus or add more information, you will do that in your class discussion during the first week. And so you may have some things to add here on your syllabus. In addition to the syllabus, one other document that is located out here is the English1X grading contract. And this is just asking you to sign that you understand how to receive credit for the class, and basically just reiterates attending and participating, bringing in writing, and upholding the academic honesty policy. And so these are just some reminders about what's in the syllabus. So once you have completed watching this orientation and taken the orientation quiz, then you can print the grading contract, sign that, and bring it in for your facilitator to make a copy of. So again, if you have any questions throughout the semester, feel free to contact me, but your instructional student assistant is your first point of contact. Let them know, and then you can always contact me if you need additional information. Again, thank you for signing up for English1X, and I wish you a successful semester. Thank you.